It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Camelback Ranch in Glendale, Arizona, Sportsnet LA presents the Giants and the Dodgers. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday evening to you, wherever you may be. Yep, they're at it again, and we're delighted to bring it to you. Last year, in 19 meetings, the Dodgers were able to win 10 of the 19 against the world champions, but the Giants, as usual, made it very tough when the Dodgers played in Dodger Stadium. Tonight, the Dodgers lead with one of their aces, 17-game winner Zach Greinke, with Chris Heston on the mound for San Francisco. The Giants, of course, the wild card team last year. They finished the season 6 games behind the Dodgers. Everybody felt the Dodgers were the favorites, and they tripped and fell against St. Louis. And the Giants, the dark horse, went on to win the World's Championship for the 3rd time in 5 years. Dodgers will be wrapping up spring training by Wednesday over here in Glendale. Then they'll go to Los Angeles. 3 games with the Angels, 2 in Anaheim, and the final exhibition game with the Angels at Dodger Stadium. And then before you know it, it will be opening day. That's April the 6th against the Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. So we'll be back with the ballgame. Don't go wandering off right after this. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Camelback Ranch in Glendale, Arizona. A gorgeous evening. Temperatures in the low 90s throughout the day. The mountains silhouetted in the background, and a sellout crowd ready for the Giants and the Dodgers. Admittedly, it is only an exhibition game, but then again, it's the Giants and the Dodgers. Don Mattingly featuring a frontline team, and for that matter, so is the visitor, Bruce Bochy, carrying the World's Championship banner. For the visiting Giants, last year, They won 88 games, and they wound up 6 games back of the Dodgers. Nori Aoki, who was with Kansas City, will lead off for the Giants and play right field. Joe Panik at second base. Brandon Belt at first. Casey McGee at third base, taking over for the departed Pablo Sandoval. In left field, the hero of the playoffs, Travis Ishikawa. Andrew Susak behind the plate, Gregor Blanco in center, Ere Adrianza at short, and Chris Heston on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, Zach Greinke, who was 17-8 against the Giants, 5-0. In fact, he is 5-0 in his career against San Francisco. His first pitch in for a strike, and we're underway. For Greinke, he had a shot in the elbow at the very start of spring training, and he would appear to be in good shape as he comes back with a breaking ball. Little chopper fielded by Greinke, feeds it to Gonzalez and Aoki, who, interestingly enough, when he played for Kansas City against the Giants in the World Series, was only 1 for 14, and yet they feel well enough to go after him, and we have one down in the first inning. The first inning temperature here, a comfortable 88 degrees. Joe Panik, the young second baseman who did so well for the Giants, checking in. Left-hand hitter having a solid spring, hitting .305. Looks at a breaking ball for a strike, and the count 0-1. For Zach Greinke, it's interesting to see how he goes at the very beginning of any start. Last year, in his first 15 pitches, he was cuffed around. The opposition actually hit .364 against him during his first 15 pitches. Then he was in complete control until he got to 60 pitches, and once again they hit .300 against him. The pitch off the plate, and the count 2-1. Joe Panik out of New York, from Yonkers, New York, and when Scutaro was unable to play, Panik came up and was one of the big reasons why the Giants were able to make it all the way. Panik tries to time a breaking ball, hits a fly ball to left. It's playable. Crawford on the track as the ball carried very well, makes the play. 2 down. We'll take a look at the Dodgers with the leather, and they'll shape up this way. You have A.J. Ellis handling Zach Greinke. The infield, Gonzalez and Kendrick, Rollins and Uribe. And the outfield, Crawford, Peterson, and Puig. So it's a first-team lineup tonight with Greinke on the mound. So with 2 down, Brandon Belt, left-hand hitter, power hitter, checking in. Brandon, 6'5", a good 220 pounds. Hit a dozen last year, and the left-hand hitter takes a strike. Zach Greinke, a remarkable study for the Dodgers. You may or may not remember a game that he pitched last year. It was in July, the pitch in for a strike. And in the third inning against the Giants, he struck out 4 batters in the inning. Joining, since he had done it once with the Angels, that joined Chuck Finley and A.J. Burnett, the only fellows to do it more than once. Belt holds up on a pitch, and it's a little high. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. We have 2 down, first inning, no score. The Giants, when you think about it, really a miracle team last year. There is no way you could have expected them to win it all, as Belt goes after a high fastball, and down he goes. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Greinke, and at the end of half an inning, it's the Giants nothing and the Dodgers coming up. First inning, Giants fail to score. They go out 1-2-3 with a strikeout for Brandon Belt. Now in the bottom half of the first inning, we'll take a look at the Dodger lineup, and it shapes up as a lineup pretty much we're going to see throughout the year. Jimmy Rollins opens up at short, Yasiel Puig in right, Adrian Gonzalez at first, and Howie Kendrick hitting cleanup at second. Carl Crawford in left, Juan Uribe at third, Jock Peterson in center, A.J. Ellis behind the plate, Zach Greinke on the mound. On the mound for the Giants, Chris Heston. He's a big boy, 6'4", about 185, out of Sanford, Florida. He was originally drafted by the Giants back in 2009. He was released in 2013, spent most of last year at AAA, and then appeared in a game, do you remember? The first pitch to Jimmy Rollins, a strike, 0-1. It's doubtful if you would, but Heston's major league debut with the Giants came September the 13th of last year. Strike one pitch, Jimmy takes off the plate, 1-1. Records were set that day. The records were set by the Dodgers, who scored 17 runs against the Giants in AT&T Park. 1-2 the count now to Jimmy Rollins. In fact, most runs by any visiting team at AT&T Park. The Dodgers had 17 runs, 24 hits. However, Heston did not allow a run. A hopper wide of third, kick dropped by McGee, can't make the play. Rollins is aboard on an error. So Jimmy Rollins, who is having a very nice spring, takes over at first base on the error by Casey McGee. So McGee unable to handle the ball. And, of course, for the Giants, they had a very solid third baseman in Pablo Sandoval, and he'll be fighting those pair of shoes all summer long. So Boshi sees his third baseman commit an error. And now Yasiel Puig, the batter. Puig is having a great spring. The Dodgers, by the way, total 40 home runs. Not that they mean anything, but it's still somewhat impressive in spring training. Yasiel takes low, ball one. You talk about Yasiel Puig and the Cuban connection. There have been a lot of players involved with Cuba and the Dodgers, besides Yasiel and, let's say, Yasmani Grandal. But you can go way back to Adolfo Luque, who played for the Dodgers and later coached for the Giants. The next pitch, check swing foul off to the right. Then, of course, the Dodgers had Sandy Amoros, the outfielder who made the big play in the '55 World Series. They had Zoilo Versalles for a year, Camilo Pascual. Dodgers had a great coach in Preston Gomez. And, of course, the Dodger scout who signed Fernando, Mike Zito. Mike was from Cuba. Chopper fouled outside of third and down the line. For Puig, he was telling an interesting story about the acquisition of Hector Olivera. Olivera, who was signed by the Dodgers. We probably won't see him for several months. But Olivera's father was Puig's hitting coach. He was also the hitting coach of his son, Hector. So as Puig says, Hector's like my brother. Puig waiting. The 2-1 pitch on the way almost hits him on the hip. Yasiel jumps out of the way. And the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Puig strides in. Ball just below the belt, in on the hip. Yasiel with 5 home runs and a dozen runs batted in. So Rollins at first. Nobody out here in the first inning. And the pitch, there goes Rollins, hit and run, ground ball up the middle. Base hit for Puig. Rollins on his way to third. The throw comes in from Blanco, and Yasiel holds at first. So the Dodgers trying to get the jump on the Giants tonight. And immediately, young Chris Heston is in somewhat of a jam, the error, followed by the base hit. Take another look. Yasiel got a pitch out over the plate, and he knew what to do with it. Rollins running on the pitch takes third. One thing about the Dodgers, they're going to have to impress not only in spring training, they're going to have to impress in the early part of the season. The Dodgers play 22 of their first 38 games at home. Throw to first, and Puig just does get back. Not only 22 of the first 38 at home, only 13 of those games will be against teams that finished with a record over 500 last year. And that brings up a huge point about the Dodgers. Here's Adrian, takes an off-speed pitch way outside. Ball one. Last year, you may or may not remember that the Dodgers did very well until they played teams above 500. They only won 13 games against teams that had a better than 500 record. There goes Puig. There goes the ball. A shot into right center. It will go to the wall. So Rollins will score. Here comes Puig to score. Gonzalez drives in two, and the Dodgers lead 2-0 in the first inning. So the era followed the hit-and-run single, followed by the long double by Adrian Gonzalez. So the Dodgers on the board big time. Gonzalez, who was the big butter and egg man last year, continues to do just that. And now Howie Kendrick coming up with a runner at second, nobody out. Kendrick, the veteran, solid hitter. I can remember every time the Dodgers played the Angels, whether it was an exhibition or a regular season game, Howie always hits the ball pretty hard. This time a chopper to the box. No play on Gonzalez as Heston throws to first. Gonzalez advances to third. And the batter will be Carl Crawford. So an error followed by a single and a double. And with one out, Carl Crawford checking in. Crawford last year, fighting all kinds of injuries, still hit 300 with 8 home runs, 46 RBIs. He's had a great career, and certainly that's brought to focus when you look at some of the numbers over the years. He has a look at a strike. Left side of the infield is up. The right side is halfway. For Crawford, he needs 29 runs scored to give him 1,000 in his career. He needs 30 stolen bases to give him 500 career stolen bases. Big chopper up the middle. And with the infield drawn in, the ball is into center field. Scoring is Gonzalez. And the Dodgers off to a great start, leading 3-0. So Crawford made that look easy. High chopper over the mound and out into center field. So the Dodgers, who have had a very impressive spring, they've won 13 of 19 with 6 ties, and they're out in front now 3-0. And the batter is Juan Uribe, the veteran third baseman, last year of his contract. And as Juan said, he has a ring from a famous year in 2005. He got another ring in 2010, and he thinks he's due for the next ring here in 2015. Big year. Hit .311, 9 home runs, and played Gold Glove style third baseman. He grounds one to short. Up with it there, Adrianza to Panic to Belt, and that'll be that for the inning. So Uribe bangs into a double play, but not before the Dodgers cash in on 3 hits and an error. Nobody left at the end of an inning, 3-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Butter and Egg Man made a delivery. Adrian Gonzalez drives in 2 with a double. Dodgers lead 3-0. And we're in the second inning as Casey McGee takes a pitch off the plate, ball 1. McGee committing the error on the slow roller off the bat of Jimmy Rollins. Casey, veteran, been around a long time with the Marlins last year and a good hitter. And in a hole now after the error, trying to dig himself out of it. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. A few moments ago, we were talking about the Dodgers' schedule, who they play and when. 1-1 pitch, and that's going to be low, ball 2. It's interesting, 22 of the 38 games at home. And what is really interesting, the division will almost disappear by the middle of June. In other words, the Dodgers play 13 of 19 against Colorado by June the 3rd. The next pitch, McGee drives it into center. On his horse is Peterson to pick it off. Had a good jump on the ball. And just like that, 1 away. So by early June, they will have played the Rockies so many times. Against the Padres, they will have played 12 of 19 by the 14th of June. And with the Giants, they will have played 12 of 19 by June the 20th. So by June, we're going to have a pretty good idea of how the Dodgers will fare within the Western Division. Breaking ball to the big hero last year out of nowhere against the St. Louis Cardinals. Travis Ishikawa hitting the home run that won everything and sent the Giants into the World Series and eventually defeat Kansas City. So Ishikawa, a hero who really stepped out from behind the curtain. Only the 4th player in Major League history and the 1st in the National League to hit a walk-off and send his team to the World Series. Ishikawa takes one that misses, and we have a 2-ball, 1-strike count. But I guess in talking about the schedule, perhaps the biggest point was one we tried to hurriedly make a few minutes ago. Off-speed curve fouled away. The Dodgers won 94 games last year, and that's great. However, and Mattingly would be the first to tell you, against teams who were over 500, their record was 26 and 33. So when they played the good teams, they did not win. 2-1 pitch on the way off the corner. So when you realize that, it could not be too much of a shock that as soon as they stepped up against a better team like the St. Louis Cardinals, they lost. The next pitch at the plate finds the mark. Outside corner, Ishikawa caught looking. Down he goes. That would be the 2nd strikeout for Zach Greinke. Greinke, who has struck out as many as 15 in his career. One of the things you might overlook, I mean, you'll acknowledge, Greinke is a very good pitcher. He's got good stuff, etc. He's almost like a left-hander, the way he controls the running game. And that's as important as everything else. The first pitch to Susak, as they kiddingly call him, and that misses. 1 ball and no strikes. Andy from Roseville, California, still lives there. About 6'1", 215-pounder, swings, doesn't get it. Susak is catching tonight only because Buster Posey went 9 2 consecutive games, and they decided to give him the day off. So Susak gets a chance to shine. The 1-1 off-speed breaking ball drops in nicely. 1-2 the count. The amazing thing about the Giants is what they needed to win, they didn't get. And you say, how can that be? Well, we'll talk about it if we have a minute. Greinke comes back and it's high. Going into the season last year, for the Giants to really win, they needed another great performance out of Matt Cain. Moshe also needed a healthy Angel Pagan, and he needed an upgraded Tim Lincecum. Here's the 2-2 pitch in the dirt, and he got none of the 3. Matt Cain went down with chips in the elbow. Angel Pagan, a great outfielder and a marvelous all-around player, he went down with back surgery, and Tim Lincecum just did not have the work. Didn't work for him. And yet they won it all. Little roller up along third, kicks foul, and goes out of play. We were showing the folks watching on television a picture of Bruce Bochy. And after seeing what the Giants have done, you might realize just what kind of a manager he is. He has now won 3 World Series. That puts him along with 9 Hall of Fame managers, including Joe Torre and Tony La Russa. The next pitch in the dirt, and that's ball 4 for Susac. And what happens should the Giants win another with Bruce Bochy? Wow. Then he really has company. He would join only Joe McCarthy, Casey Stengel, Connie Mack, Walter Alston, and Joe Torre. So when you talk about great managers, he's always overlooked, but not anymore. Not when you look at his credentials and what he has done with the Giants. So with 2 out, a walk to Susac, and here's Gregor Blanco, who had to make terrific contributions all along the way when the Giants lost Angel Pagan. And Blanco hit .260, hit 5 home runs, 38 runs batted in, and all in all, did a good job. Remember, both Pagan and Michael Morse went down to injuries last year. Pagan, who's 5'11", about 180, out of Venezuela. Pagan back up and is healthy and playing occasionally. Blanco swings right through a breaking ball, and the count 1-2. Blanco last year had 18 doubles. Stocky, left-hand hitting center fielder. 3-0 in favor of the Dodgers. We're in the second inning, 2 out. Susac, who walked at first. Greinke comes back, fastball on the hands, and that's foul back out of play. We were talking earlier about Greinke, who pitches like a left-hander as far as shutting down the running game. Well, to give you an idea, the base runners are successful about half the time. That's all. In 2013, there were only 7 attempted steals, and 4 of the 7 were caught. Last year, if memory serves me right, no runner even attempted to steal a base against Zach Greinke. Susac barely off the bag, standing almost alongside Adrian Gonzalez. The pitch is a little low. Blanco starts to swing and holds up. Left-hand hitter with good speed and fine plate discipline, and he just showed that. He rarely will go after a pitch out of the strike zone. The next one swung on, a hopper into center, a solid base hit. Turning second, on his way to third is Susac. So the 2-out walk followed by a base hit, and that will bring up Ere Adrianza, the shortstop. So a line drive single by Blanco, who can handle that bat. And here's Adrianza. Not doing much in the spring, really didn't do very much playing short. Of course, Brandon Crawford is the #1 shortstop. Ere, the backup man at the position. So first and third, 2 out, 3-0 Dodgers, and the Giants trying to get off the floor. Greinke trying to get out of a jam, and a breaking ball is low. Ball 1, 1-0. So Greinke being tested here. He's made 34 pitches. He's in an area now where last year the opposition hit 191 against him. Fastball lifted in the air high and down the line. Crawford in fair ground, backs up, juggles, drops the ball. 2 runs will score, and stopping at second base is Adrianza. So Carl Crawford, on a towering fly ball, seemed to stagger as he got near the foul pole, reached up with his glove, and it went off the glove. He backed up. The ball seemed to carry, but it hit him right in the heart of the glove. So needless to say, an error. And a big error it is. And remember, for the Dodgers, that's against the plans. The plan is that this would be a far better defensive team than the club they had last year. The pitch now to Heston, swung on and missed. So with 2 down, he had the walk to Susac, the single by Blanco, and Crawford dropping that high fly ball, and the Giants right back in the game, scoring 2. For Greinke, comes back with a cutter away. For Zach, by the way, he is working harder now than the Dodgers would want him to work. He's made 26 pitches in the inning and 35 pitches in the game. So this is the area where normally he's out of the inning, and he should have been. Rick Honeycutt watching him carefully. But the guy who feels terrible about things naturally is Carl Crawford. 3-2, favor of the Dodgers. Big area in left field. There's no breeze. It wasn't as if the ball blew over the head of Crawford. He just ran to a spot, and he was not near it, reached up and dropped it. Next pitch is swung on and missed. So the Dodgers trying to get out of the inning against the pitcher, Chris Heston. So at 6-4, brings up a nice strike zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Greinke set. Here he comes. Fastball away. Zach has struck out 2. Zach heaves a little sigh, now set at the belt. Another look back at second at Adrianza. Roller to short. Rollins waits for it, then guns it low, backhanded by Adrian Gonzalez. Tell you one thing, he knew that Heston could not run well, and he took plenty of time. Crawford, the big error. The Giants get 2. And at the end of an inning and a half, 3-2 Dodgers. We go to the bottom of the second inning, 3-2 in favor of the Dodgers. Each side committing an error. There was the error at third base by Casey McGee on the ball hit by Jimmy Rollins. and the Dodgers paylawed that into a 3-run inning. And then the drop fly ball by Carl Crawford, and that gave the Giants 2. So we go to the bottom half. Jock Peterson, followed by A.J. Ellis, and then Zach Greinke. Peterson having a solid spring, hitting .400. 4 home runs, 9 runs batted in. High chopper at first base. Big Brandon Belt at 6'5" picks it off. And just like that, Peterson is retired on the first pitch. Pretty handy to have a first baseman that big for high throws. And, of course, he does a good job digging them out of the dirt as well. Brandon Belt. A.J. Ellis will be checking in. Interesting note on A.J. Ellis has to do with catchers. And, of course, with most catchers, you're more interested with the glove than the bat anyway. And the first pitch, ball 1. But from 2008 to 2014, if you want to give a catcher an earned run average, like the pitcher, A.J. Ellis has the best earned run average. And we're talking about Buster Posey, Yadier Molina, Russell Martin, on and on. The next pitch to A.J., and that misses, and that runs the count. 3 balls and no strikes. Chris Heston at Fresno last year was a 12-game winner. Big right-hander comes back 3-0, gets a high strike, and the count 3-1. Now the next pitch, A.J. swings, fouls it back. Ellis, of course, if you followed the Dodgers last year, you know that he had a bad knee. It bothered his catching, as you might expect, and it also bothered his hitting. So he posted the lowest batting average of just about any regular catcher. But those who watched him understood. 3-2, roller hard down to shortstop. Adrianza makes the nice pick to take care of him. And we have 2 down in the second inning. And Zach Greinke coming up. 3-2 in favor of the Dodgers. When the Giants come up in the third inning, it'll be Aoki, Panic, and Belt. So Greinke checking in. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. 2 runs, 1 hit for the Giants. An error on each side. And the pitch to Zach in for a strike. And the count 0-1. So Greinke, who made 30 pitches in the last inning, he has made 40 pitches. You might be interested to know Clayton Kershaw yesterday made 88 pitches. The next pitch, a cutter in for a high strike. And the count 0-2. So the pitch count is not important as far as dominating a game, but it sure is important letting you know how close a pitcher is to getting ready. Big swing and a foul ball, and Greinke is still there. Clayton Kershaw, somebody said after his outing yesterday, "Are you ready?" And he said, "I better be," which is his practical attitude about his entire game. He had a base hit as well. Here's the strike 2 pitch on the way. Chased on a half swing, and now the first base umpire says no. Lance Barrett says no, hold the phone. The Greinke, the Giants were coming off the field. We have 4 rookie umpires, so I don't believe that the umpires will get much heat. So the 1-2 pitch on the way to Greinke. Zach swings, hits a little pop fly. Belt goes back on the grass to backhand it. And the Dodgers go down in order in the second inning. So at the end of 2 here at Camelback Ranch, Dodgers 3, Giants 2. calendars, Wednesday, April 8th, Dodgers and the Padres, 7:10, and the first 40,000 fans in attendance receive an adult replica pullover jacket presented by Bank of America. To secure your tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Nori Aoki will start it off. The smallish outfielder hit back to the box first trip. As we mentioned, the Giants liked everything they saw about him, even though he went just 1 for 14 against them in the World Series. Big swing and a foul ball, and the count 0-1. In Japan, he was an all-star from 2004 through 11. Then he went to Milwaukee for 2 years. And then last year surfaced with Kansas City from Double-A. Strike one pitch on the way. That's in for a strike. Aoki doesn't believe it. Thought it was high. 0-2. 5'9", about 180 pounds. He was a 7-time All-Star in Japan. Strike two pitch, high chopper. They're going to have to hurry. He runs well. Rollins can't make a do-or-die bare hand pickup. And even had he made it, I doubt very much if he'd have been able to make a play on Aoki. So Nori is aboard on an infield single to short. And the batter will be Joe Panik. Hit that hard ground in front of home plate. Mile-high bouncer. Rollins tries, gets off his glove. Aoki, who runs very well. That's all he needed, that bounce. There was no way they were going to get him. So the tying runs aboard. And remember, we were talking about Greinke and how he commands the base running situation. He might be tested here. As far as spring training is concerned, Aoki has stolen 4 bases. So we'll see if he tries to run, representing the tying run. Joe Panik, with Aoki taking his lead at first. Greinke at the belt. There he goes, and it's fouled at the plate. So Aoki, who runs very well, and they turned him loose. In Japan, Aoki stole as many as 41 bases. So the Giants have him high up in the lineup, and among other things, you will expect him to run. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Panik with Belt on deck. Dodgers lead 3-2, and we're in the top of the third. Aoki off the bag, not going. And there's a high chopper to Gonzalez, down to Rollins, back to Greinke, in time, double play. So the Dodgers show a little polish on that. A 3-6-1 double play. Aoki is erased, and quickly 2 down in the 3rd inning. So a nice play, like a bolt of silk. Gonzalez with the ball hit to his gloved side. That made things easy. Panik runs well, and Greinke was able to hold on to the throw from Rollins. So a picture double play, textbook, 3-6-1. Rollins' big problem, he had to throw around Aoki, and he was able to do it, and accurately to Greinke. Nice play. So it's still 3-2 in favor of the Dodgers, and Brandon Belt struck out in the 1st inning. Takes down and away, ball 1. 1-0. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Giants. Dodgers trying to win their 14th. The Giants have only won 6. Next one fouled into the screen, and they count 1 ball and 1 strike. Spring training. Actually, when baseball, professional ball started in the 19th century, players did not go to spring training. I mean, they played under the stands if it was raining, or indoors to play catch. Ground foul. Can you imagine the Boston team with 9 feet of snow trying to get ready for a season if they didn't go to spring training? Actually, the first Southern spring training by a major league club, Chicago White Sox. famous name in their history, Cap Anson. And by the 20th century, teams were all over the South and the Southwest. 1-2 pitch, checked, 2-2. I mean, there were spring trainings in Texas, Louisiana, the Carolinas, Alabama, Georgia. John McGraw took his team to California for the first time, but wouldn't you know, he encountered rain. So he moved the club to Florida. Rain in California. Wow. 2-2 pitch, straightens up belt, ball 3-2. New Orleans became a hotbed for spring training. In fact, the Tigers, they had Ty Cobb, and he was from Augusta, Georgia. So that worked out beautifully to go down south. 3-2 pitch is fouled away. By the way, we talked about the Dodgers training in Cuba back in 41 and 42, and then because of rain in Florida, they trained in Cuba for a couple of games in 1959. But the Yankees were the first club to leave the United States during spring training. They went to Bermuda. Well, that was way back in 1911. 3-2, the count to Brandon Belt. Greinke rocks and ready, and Zach deals, and it's fouled away. One of the problems, a sad story, the Boston Braves, they were in spring training in the South, and they lost an infielder. I mean lost. Cozy Dolan, his name, and he died from typhoid. 3-2, and this will be the 8th pitch to Brandon Belt. Greinke ready, and here he comes, fouled away again. It was the Giants, the first team to basically establish a permanent spring training. That was in Texas. And then, believe it or not, the second permanent by the Cubs on Catalina. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Belt. 3-2 Dodgers, third inning. Greinke's off-speed pitch is strike 3 call. Belt thinks it was over his head, and he might have been right. But Belt is called strike 3. 3 strikeouts for Greinke. No runs, a hit. That double play certainly saved the moment. And at the end of 2.5 innings, 3-2 Dodgers. Three-2 favor of the Dodgers. Bottom of the third inning. Jimmy Rollins, Yasiel Puig, and then Adrian Gonzalez. Jimmy reached on the error by Casey McGee. The Dodgers went on to score 3 times. And first ball hitting, big chopper to Belt, takes it to the bag, and just like that, one away. So Rollins not hanging around, 0 for 2, and here comes Yasiel Puig. Puig had a solid hit-and-run single, base hit up the middle, that set the Dodgers up for 3 runs. Yasiel last year had a dazzling stretch. He takes a look all the way, and the pitch is strike. You talk about taking. He had the bat on his shoulder. He was not going to swing on that first pitch. Strike one pitch on the way. Yasiel looks. It's off the plate. Yasiel last year reached base safely, including on an error, in 40 straight games. And, of course, he was also an all-star. A shot up the middle, smothered at second base by Panik, and his throw is in time. Joe Panik takes a base hit away from Yasiel Puig on a shot up the middle. Take another look. Heston out on the mound might have slowed it. I think the mound slowed it a little. And then Panik diving, got up, and Belt with that big stretch. That's an elastic Belt over there at first base, and he makes the play. So Puig is out. Fine combination from Panik to Belt. And with 2 out, Adrian Gonzalez checking in. Adrian showing bunt. Adrian last year had a phenomenal year. His best campaign since 2011. He led the Dodgers in home runs, led the majors in RBIs. And he probably bangs one to center, but right there is Blanco to put it away. So the Dodgers go quickly in the 3rd inning. 1-2-3, big play by Joe Panik. And at the end of 3, Dodgers 3, Giants 2. Hey, friends, Monday, go beyond the dugout into the Dodgers clubhouse. Join Alana Rizzo. She'll go one-on-one with Don Mattingly to get the inside scoop from the Diamond. So don't miss Dodger Clubhouse Monday at 7 on Sportsnet LA. Oh, yeah, it's down to the nub, but he's enjoying every nibble. Zach Greinke going to work. He's made 55 pitches in 3 innings. An error by Crawford added to his problems, but he is still leading 3-2. Facing Casey McGee, who flied to center, 0 for 1. In the dirt to the backstop. When you look at McGee's name, you're inclined to be intimidated by the H. His name is spelled M-C-G-E-H-E-E. So the first time you think it's McGee. But no, it's just an uptown McGee. 1-1. He's from Santa Cruz, by the way. High fly ball to center. Peterson looking up into the night. So one away here in the fourth inning, and Travis Ishikawa coming up. As we were saying, if it was ever an improbable year for the Giants, it could be summed up in one name, Travis Ishikawa. Ishikawa last year was with Pittsburgh. Eventually went to Fresno, AAA. And then comes up to the Giants and hits the miracle home run. Ishikawa has been playing ball a long time, so it's not as if he just started. Signed as a pro back about 13 years ago. The World Series against Kansas City, he had 231. A couple of years ago in the World Series against Texas, he had 230. Travis Ishikawa. One ball and two strikes. Greinke, 61 pitches. Again, we mentioned Kershaw made 88. Fastball down. I remember when the Dodgers back at Vero Beach, seemed like all the starting pitchers went 7 innings at least once. And once in a while, a pitcher would go 9 in spring training. A lot of pressure on the Giants now that they've lost Hunter Pence. Clayton Kershaw, 88 pitches yesterday, reports he's fine. Remember that broken bat line drive caught him on the left side of the jaw. He had to have one tooth extracted and the chip tooth taken care of. And a line drive base hit to center. Peterson plays it on a hop. So Travis Ishikawa comes up with that solid hit. So Ishikawa comes up with a hit. That would be the third hit for the Giants. The batter now, Andrew Susac. Susac walked, came around to score in the second inning. 3-2 Dodgers, top of the fourth. It's a little disconcerting to look at the scoreboard here for one reason. The scorekeeper of the board gives you a 0 while the inning is still alive. In other words, he's not giving you anything, not a blank. He puts a score of a 0 and makes you think it's the bottom half of the inning. Fly ball to Puig. No one's going to try to run on him. 2 down. And Gregor Blanco, who's single, coming up. As we mentioned earlier, with Angel Pagan and Michael Morse going down, Blanco was certainly one of the most valuable fourth outfielders in the league. He had a couple of very important extra base hits and helped the Giants to win it all. Gregor Blanco. Ball 1. Blanco also came alive after the All-Star break. And pop foul, out of play. Another thing, they keep track of players and the runs that they prevent from scoring. He stopped at least 6 runs from scoring. Every one a most important stop. That's fouled away. 1-2 the count to Gregor Blanco. Gregor has always had one problem. He has a tendency to uppercut the ball. See what he does this at bat. And just inside. So you can see Greinke's pitch count now at 69. Pretty close. Took a lot to take that pitch with 2 strikes. So Ishikawa at first, 2 down, and a 2-2 count. Fastball whacked down the right field line, in there and in the corner. So Blanco doubles. Here comes the tying run carried by Ishikawa. The hurried throw to the plate, not in time. So we've tied it up 3-3. Ishikawa singles, Blanco doubles, and takes third on the throw to the plate. And after 70 pitches, it's 3-3. They're going to give Blanco a triple. Normally, you would expect that the throw to the plate gave him the extra base. Spring training, just add a line and turn it double into a triple. Turn it a 3-3 tie here in the 4th. And Ere Adrianza, the shortstop, checking in. Switch hitter, batting left-handed. He hit the fly ball, dropped by Carl Crawford just inside the foul line, and that gave the Giants 2 runs. Greinke now 72 pitches in a 3-3 tie. Crawford, you have to have a good memory to be successful, but you also have to have the ability to forget. Crawford can do both. So, with first base wide open and the pitcher Heston due up, it would appear, although it's not an intentional walk, Greinke hasn't come close to throwing a strike, and Adrianza has not come close to swinging. That's in there. Three and 1. In the dirt. So Adrianza draws the walk. Greinke's second walk. 3-3 tie. And of course the Dodgers have tied 6 times this spring. More ties than you'd see in a haberdashery store. And the Dodgers fed up with it. So Greinke ready to make his 76th pitch to Chris Heston. Time for the moment now. Honeycutt gone out. After 75 pitches, we'll see whether he wants to stay in or would they take him out with the pitcher Heston. Down in the bullpen, Paco Rodriguez, the big left-hander. Heston is a right-handed batter, and it would not appear as if Boshi is thinking about a pinch hitter. So let's see. It is spring training. So Greinke wants a little more work, a little more of a Heston, trying to get out of the inning. Heston went to Seminole Community College. The Nationals chose him in the 29th round, but instead he switched to East Carolina University. and probably hammers it to left. Back goes Crawford to the wall. It is short, hops the wall. 1 run is in. Stopping at third as the Dodgers gun it back in by Jimmy Rollins. And the Giants have taken the lead 4-3 on that long double by Heston. Adrianza stopping at third, and Blanco brought the run in. Boy, Heston really unloaded. Two runs scored by Blanco. Now second and third, and the pesky Aoki coming up. And for Greinke, he has now made 76 pitches. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom half of the inning, it'll be Hendrick, Crawford, and Uribe. And now Mattingly says that's enough. So it's the old story with the pitcher coming up. They had that lengthy conversation. Greinke's the type, I'm sure, who would tell you he wanted to stay in anyway. So they went with him, and he gives up the crushing double. So out goes Greinke. 4-3 in favor of the Giants, and we'll be right back. Giants come from behind. They were down 3-0. They now lead 4-3. And Paco Rodriguez brought in to try and get the last out in the inning. You know, there were 81 players picked before Rodriguez was picked in the 2012 draft. Only 6 made their debut in the major leagues. Rodriguez, already a 3-year veteran, and the Dodgers hoping that this will be his year. 2 years ago, he scuffled in the final month of 2013. He had a couple of bad outings in April of 14, though down he went. And it seemed like left-hand batters were hitting extra base hits every 10 plate appearances against Paco. And that's really what he had to work on to get back to the Dodgers, get the left-hand hitter out. Well, his first challenge tonight is the pesky Aoki with runners at second and third. Starts him with ball 1. So with 1 out, Ishikawa singled. With 2 out, Blanco doubled him home. Actually, they gave Blanco a triple. Adrianza walked, and the pitcher Heston doubled in the run. Blanco bringing it in. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count. Late in the season, Paco returned to the Dodgers, throwing not quite as hard. In fact, you may remember he was left off the postseason roster. A bitter disappointment to him. However, he's young and strong, and certainly better days could very well be ahead of him. 1 ball and 1 strike. Little sinker and low. 2-1. to Nori Aoki. Fouled at the plate. For Greinke, who could possibly lose the game, and for Greinke to lose to the Giants, that's a story. If you aren't with us at the beginning of the game, in his career, Zach Greinke 5-0 against San Francisco. So Zach, who made 76 pitches, had 2 runs go in when Carl Crawford dropped the fly ball. And now here in the 4th inning, he gives up the 2 and has to come out. 2-2. Deuce is wild. Runners at second and third and in the dirt. So it's interesting how it has played out. Paco Rodriguez, who had a lot of trouble getting left-handers out, and now is brought in a pivotal situation against a left-hand hitter. And he's gone 3-2 with first base open. Aoki runs very well. We saw that when he had that infield single in the 3rd inning. Fastball fouled away. We cut his first name down. We call him Nori. Nori Ichaka would be his full first name. Nori works easier. 3-2. Big pitch for Paco. Panic on deck. Another left-hand batter. Curveball got him. So Aoki goes down. Big overhand curveball for the Giants. They get 2 and leave 2. And at the end of 3.5 innings, 4-3, San Francisco. Open the season with San Diego, April the 6th. You want to guarantee tickets to the sold-out event? Well, purchase a 2015 mini plan. That includes opening day, all 10 bobbleheads, and many more great promotions. So visit Dodgers.com/mini plans, and we'll see you opening day. Dodgers coming up in the bottom of the 4th inning. Howie Kendrick, Carl Crawford, and Juan Uribe. Howie 0 for 1. Hit back to the box and takes ball 1. Kendrick hitting in the cleanup spot. Takes a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. milestones ahead of Howie Kendrick. He needs 5 more stolen bases to give him 100. 22 home runs to give him 100 career. And 66 runs to give him 600 in his career. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Howie Kendrick. A little high. 2-2. Kendrick has power. He hit as many as 18, but you don't expect him to be a 20 home run hitter. Check swing, and how are they ruling it? They're going to rule it a hit batter, and so Kendrick goes to first base. Bruce Bochy, a former catcher in his heyday, hollers something out to first base umpire. We'll take 2 angles to see. Pitch is up and in. I think they thought it got the bat. Plate umpire checked, and the umpire said it got his hand. And Howie certainly acting like it hit him on the hand. So Bochy says okay. And here's Carl Crawford. Crawford singled to center to drive in a run in the first inning. Big chopper to Panic, the only out at first, and down to second goes Kendrick. So Crawford didn't hang around. 1 away. By the way, the early part of the broadcast, we were talking about what the Giants needed to win last year. And despite the fact they didn't get their needs, they still went on to be world champions. Matt Cain with the bone chips and the operation. Angel Pagang with the bad back and the operation. And an off-season Tim Lincecum. That was last year. All reports we get from the Giant training camp that Matt Cain is okay. No pain at all in the elbow. Pitched yesterday 50, 60 pitches and said he felt fine. Pagan is playing, so he's over the back problems. And Lincecum appears to be pitching better. High chopper. McGee juggles, recovers, throws to get Uribe, who was a little slow going down the line anyway. So on the play, Hendrick, with the ball hit ahead of him, had to stay. 2 down, and Jock Peterson coming up. So Hendrick hit by a pitch. 2 ground balls later, he's still at second, and the Dodgers trail the Giants 4-3 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Jock Peterson had a good spring last year, and then let's face it, there were times in September where he certainly appeared overwhelmed by big league pitching. That's ball 1. Young Jock hit 143. Of course, his dad went to SC, and anyone who ever had anything to do with SC in baseball loved our man Rod. And a drive to right, going back on the ball is Aoki, but he has a play, and that's the inning. No runs, no hits, a hit batter and a man left. And at the end of 4, it's 4-3 Giants. Enrique Hernandez, better known as Kike. Kike takes over at second base, so that'll give Howie Kendrick a rest. Kike can play just about anywhere and has done that, so he is in a vital role, as Matt Duffy is going to come up now and be a pinch hitter for Joe Panik. So Matt Duffy checking in, young fella from Long Beach, though I'm sure he's got some friends, family, checking to see how he makes out, even in the spring. Matt's 6'2", about 170, 24 years old. First pitch in for a strike. Oh, and 1. 1-1 the count now to Matt. Last year, spent the year basically at Richmond and came up at the end of the year with the Giants. Wound up, played in a couple of games in the World Series. 1-2. Matt long and lean at 6'2" and about 170. Two balls and 2 strikes. Matt Duffy, Long Beach State, facing Paco Rodriguez. 4-3 Giants. Top of the 5th inning. Curveball hit down the left field line. Crawford on the run and makes the catch. So Duffy, a line drive. So the tough play, Crawford makes the catch. The high fly ball down the line. He dropped it, and so it goes in the big leagues. 1 away. So with 1 away, Brandon Belt checking in. Big curveball for ball 1. 1-0 to count. Last year, Belt got off to a tremendous start. He certainly lived up to his last name. He had 5 home runs in his first 8 games of last year. Ground ball hard. The mound slows it down. Rollins stays with it, and that ball was hit hard. So 2 down in the 5th inning, a line drive and a hard ground ball. And the batter, Casey McGee. McGee twice flying to center. Last year, Casey McGee was the Sporting News National League Player of the Year. He had hit 151 for the Yankees. Slow one, tough play. Uribe will get him. So a couple of nice defensive plays behind Paco Rodriguez. Giants go 1-2-3. And at the end of 4.5, it's 4-3 San Francisco. Bottom of the fifth inning with the Giants leading 4-3. Matt Duffy, who batted for Panic, lined out to left field, stays in at second base for Joe Panic. And Joaquin Arias will take over at third base. The Dodgers, meanwhile, will have A.J. Ellis, then Scott Van Slyke, and then Jimmy Rollins. Chris Heston, the big guy out of Sanford, Florida, still in there. And a strike. If he joined us late, Zach Greinke made 76 pitches, charged with 4 runs, but 2 of them unearned. Yimi Garcia begins to warm up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chris Heston, 6'4", 185, born April the 10th, 1988. One time, Heston came in, got a double play, and the announcer for the minor league team called him Hesto Presto, which seemed to stick for a little while. That was down at Richmond. After a very shaky first inning, however, and remember we told you Heston was involved. He pitched and got a couple of outs in the game in September of last year when the Dodgers scored 17 runs against the Giants. Well, it looked like it was going to be another kind of that game tonight, but after giving up 3 runs in the first inning, he has allowed just 1 man to get on base. That's when he hit Kendrick. Line drive backhanded by A-Ray Adrianza. So A.J. Ellis, line drive out, 1 down, and Scott Van Slyke will be coming up. Nice play by Adrianza. Take a base hit away from Ellis. And here's Van Slyke. So Adrianza playing for Crawford, who certainly figures to be the number 1 shortstop. 0-1 the count to Van Slyke. Big year last year for Scotty, hitting .297. No balls, 2 strikes the count. Very handy guy to have around. Thing that people remember, maybe you do, remember the League Championship Series in 2013? And there was an anthem standoff where Scott Van Slyke did not want to go back in the dugout. And the Cardinals representative, Joe Kelly, did the same thing. And they stood staring at each other. Meanwhile, Van Slyke is not standing still. He whacks one into the left field corner. And the big guy cruises into second base with a stand-up double. And the tying run is out there with nobody out. So Scott Van Slyke, after that line drive out by Ellis, comes up with a double. And Jimmy Rollins trying to pick him up. No chance for Arias to get to the ball. So a 1-out double. Dodgers' 4th hit. Scotty at second. Rollins and Puig back-to-back trying to get him home. Jimmy has 7 leadoff home runs in his career. And nice save on the pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and no strike. Andrew Susac making a good play. Andrew backing up Buster Posey. We mentioned Posey caught 2 games in a row, so they've rested him tonight. 1 ball and no strikes. 2-0. Rollins has done it all. An MVP, Three-time All-Star, 14 Gold Gloves, Silver Slugger Award. Big man at 5'7". Always has been, always will be. That's off the plate. Rollins needs 21 doubles to give him 500 in his career. Rickey Henderson is the #1 man with leadoff home runs. Rickey had 81. And going over to third is Van Slyke, and he is nailed. We'll have to look at that to figure out what Scotty was thinking about. He's a tying run at second base with 1 out. He looks at the pitcher, now tries to steal. And he's out from me to you. Bad play. No way to duck it. So an embarrassed, hiding behind his beard, Scott Van Slyke, trying to steal third, representing the tying run. The Dodgers still have a lot of Dodgers in them. 2 down. And a little fly ball to center field. Blanco is there, and the Dodgers blow the inning. No runs, 1 hit. An embarrassed outfielder in the dugout. And at the end of 5, 4-3 Giants. Four to 3 in favor of the Giants. Scott Van Slyke, who tried to steal third, bad play and was caught, stays in the game in right field. And the Dodgers not only change pitcher, they bring in Yimi Garcia. They also change the infield. So the Dodger infield now, and quite a battle amongst the potential infielders, and all 4 of them are in the game right now. That means Justin Turner is at first, Kike Hernandez at second, Darwin Barney at short, and Alex Guerrero at third. Yimi Garcia picking up with Greinke and Rodriguez. Garcia, 24 years old, from the Dominican Republic. We're not going to give you the way they're hitting right away. We will wait. No sense trying to rush all those names if indeed you're doing spring training and doing your scorekeeping. But we do know Travis Ishikawa is facing Yimi Garcia. Good fastball. 0-1 the count. Yumpin' Yimi. Garcia has pitched well in the spring. he is not allowed an earned run. Throws hard. Ishikawa can attest to that. And another high fastball. 1-2 the count. Dodgers have to be a little unhappy with themselves. Crawford dropping a fly ball that allowed 2 runs. Van Slyke trying to steal third with 1 out. And Jimmy Rollins at the plate. Dodgers will be finished with exhibition games in Arizona by Wednesday. And I think really, like every team, they've been here since February, and things get a little stale by now. So Ishikawa strikes out. Garcia doing plenty of that so far in the spring. Garcia now has 11 strikeouts in a brief amount of time. Andrew Susac walked, scored a run on the drop fly ball by Crawford, and last time up, fly to right. 0-1. Dodgers trying to win their 14th. Giants, slow start in the spring. They came here 6-19. So Honeycutt and Mattingly watching the hard-throwing right-hander. High foul ball. Guerrero and Ellis, and the ball will stay in the stands. Sometimes the draft bring them out, but not that time. So A.J. slowly going back. One ball and 2 strikes the count. Four runs, 5 hits for the Giants. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. Garcia just missing on that pitch. Check swing foul. Last year, Garcia pitched at Dodger Stadium, but that's when he attended the winter development program. Finally came up and appeared in 8 games. Throws very hard. In 8 games, he walked 1, struck out 9. This spring, he has struck out 11. Jimmy signed by the Dodgers in 2009 and got a taste last year. 3-2 the count. Fastball hit in the air to center. Peterson, the ball over his head to the track at the wall. It's over the wall, bouncing up into the trees. And for Andrew Susac, a home run to give the Giants a 5-3 lead. So 2-sack Susac is now 4-sack Susac. And the Giants lead by 2. For Susac, not necessarily a home run hitter. He did have 12 home runs at Richmond, and he had 3 for the Giants last year. And as you can see, he hit that out, his first of the spring. So 5-3 Giants, and ball 1 to Gregor Blanco. Gregor Blanco singled and scored on the fly ball dropped by Crawford and doubled in one. Actually a triple to drive in one, and then he scored. So Blanco is 2 for 2 and has scored twice and knocked in one. So Gregor, who did such a tremendous job filling in for Angel Pagan last year, off to a good solid start and playing well tonight. 2-1. 1 out, 1 in. 5-3 San Fran. Hunter Pence, you may know, was hit by a pitch by a Chicago Cub pitcher. Broke his arm, but I don't know when Hunter Pence will be back. Foul back. 2-2. Of course, when you study the Giants and the year they had last year, it was remarkable for many, many reasons. We mentioned about Kane and Pagan, but also they won because they had the overqualified fourth outfielder in Gregor Blanco, an overqualified long reliever in Yusmeiro Petit, and a somewhat overqualified setup man in Santiago Castillo. One of the things the Giants and Bruce Bochy have been very fortunate. They've had a rather unprecedented run of successful first-round picks. Ere Adrianza playing short for Brandon Crawford. Crawford, by the way, had a solid year last year. And they're taking a good long look at Chris Heston, the pitcher. He's on deck with 2 out. Fouled off. 5 runs, 6 hits for the Giants, 3 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. Sellout crowd and a beautiful evening here in Glendale. On the hands, foul back. Adrianza hit that fly ball that was dropped by Crawford and walked. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Heston, who has grounded out, and remember had that long double that short hopped the wall, on deck. Another foul ball. That's fastball alley. So Yimmy throwing hard. Has struck out 2, but he also gave up the home run. Another foul ball. Another look into the Giants' year. Giants basically were unstoppable in the first part of last year. I mean, they were also fortunate as well. 9th inning comebacks, 10th and 11th inning game-winning home runs. A drive to left, Crawford over and handles it. So Adrianza lines out. However, Susac hits a home run. 1 run, 1 hit, and at the end of 5.5, 5-3 San Francisco. You know, friends, in celebration of the great Jackie Robinson, join the Dodgers Wednesday, April 15th. They'll meet the Seattle Mariners at 7:10, and the first 40,000 fans in attendance receive an adult Jackie Robinson replica jersey presented by Bank of America. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Dodgers now will have the leadoff man, Justin Turner, then Darwin Barney, and Kike Hernandez. Turner was absolutely marvelous last year. Among other things, he hit .340, and he was healthy. That's why he had such a good year. Justin, 30 years old, about 5'11", 200-pounder, good-natured. You're always aware of him. He usually carries a pretty big smile. And for the Dodgers, he carried a big stick as well. Last year, 21 doubles, 7 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Little roller to short. Adrianza is on it. And we have one away, bottom of the 6th inning, 5-3 Giants. Darwin Barney. Darwin Barney, a Gold Glove second baseman, but during the off-season, he played a lot of shortstop in practice. Of course, he had been a shortstop all his life until they converted him to second base. And in 2012, when he won the Gold Glove, playing for the Cubs. A look for a strike, 0-1. Over the last 4 years, in fact, just about 5 years, he ranked 4th in brilliant fielding. So Barney rolls out, 2 down. Dodgers have not done anything. They've had 1 hit. That was the double by Van Slyke. Kike Rodriguez coming up. Say Rodriguez, Hernandez, Kike. And a strike. 0-1. Kike's 23 from Puerto Rico. Dodgers acquired him in a 7-player deal with the Miami Marlins. He's a fellow who can play anywhere on the infield or the outfield. Off the plate, 2-1 the count. Javier Lopez, the talented left-handed reliever, begins to warm up. Heston has done a terrific job. In the first inning, Heston gave up a single to Puig. There was an error on Rollins' ball. Gonzalez doubled in 2, and Crawford singled in the 3rd run of the inning. Since then, he's hit a batter, and he's allowed 1 hit. The double by Van Slyke, who then tried to steal 3rd and was nailed. So with Lopez in the pen, Heston an out away from a very solid 6 innings. Kike Hernandez up there with the bases empty, and the big boy out of Sanford, Florida, trying to win a job with the Giants. Signed by the Giants, released by the Giants, and he's back trying to become a Giant once again. Released in 2013. And a drive to right going back on the ball. Justin Maxwell to makes the catch. And that'll be that. Another great inning. His name is Heston. Remember that name. At the end of 6. 5-3 San Francisco. Three Giants. Chris Heisey, who played for Cincinnati, now takes over in left field for Carl Crawford. And the Dodgers go to the bullpen and bring in their fourth pitcher, Mike Adams. Adams was really a solid pitcher for several years with San Diego. Then he went over to the American League, came back to Philadelphia, and the Dodgers have him now. If he is healthy, you figure he's got a solid chance of making the ball club. Adam Duvall, right-hand batter, will now come up and bat for Heston. Duvall, 6'1", 205-pounder. He's out of Louisville, Kentucky. Played ball at Western Kentucky. Giants drafted him in the 11th round back in 2010. Duvall played briefly for the Giants, 20-some-odd games last year. 1 ball and 1 strike. Adam Duvall on deck. Justin Maxwell, the right fielder. So the Dodgers using Greinke, Rodriguez, Garcia, and now Adams. And a high fly ball that's going to drop. Heisey gets it back to the infield. So Duvall comes off the bench, gets a bloop single to left, and the batter now will be Justin Maxwell. Maxwell finishing up in right field for Aoki. So a fly ball single. Maxwell playing very well at AAA last year. He was in the Kansas City organization. Hit about $150 for Kansas City before going out and having a fine year in the minors. Fouled that away. The Giants picked him up in a minor league free agent role this past November. Maxwell, a big man, 6'5", 225. Out of Bethesda, Maryland. Went to the University of Maryland on a baseball scholarship. Chopper slowly to third. The play there by Guerrero. So the force play takes Duvall off the bases as Maxwell hits into the force play 5-4. And now Matt Duffy coming up. Matt Duffy batted for Joe Panik in the 5th inning. Hit a sinking line drive. Crawford made a nice running catch to get him out. One ball and no strikes. Five runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Giants. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. It would not be surprising if the Giants come over here and beat the Dodgers at home. Last year, the Dodgers won 6 of the 9 games in San Francisco, but the Giants won 6 of the 10 at Dodger Stadium. 1 ball, no strikes. That's in there. 1-1. Duffy was drafted in the 18th round of the first year player draft. And boy, he has come in a hurry. Matt played in A-ball in 2012. Then to Double-A last year, and he wound up in almost 40 games with the Giants. There goes the runner on a foul ball. So Maxwell took off, playing hit and run. Duffy fouls it off. By the way, the Giants have switched their coaches. Tim Flannery, the very popular aide to Bruce Bochy for many years, Flannery retired this year. So what they did, Roberto Kelly, who had been the first base coach, is now at third, and Bill Hayes is the new coach at first base. Kelly, who played the outfield, is also the outfield coach, in the sense it's Roberto who tells the defensive alignment he wants for the San Francisco outfield. Dodgers have the same coaches, Lopes and Bundy, as they had last year. Tim Wallach, the bench coach, to Don Mattingly. 2-2 the count. Matt Duffy checking with Roberto. Mike Adams gives up a base hit, gets a force play. Matt's 36 years old. There goes the runner on a foul ball. So the Giants playing hit and run. One reason, Adams normally has very good control. Yeah, think of San Diego. Trevor Hoffman, of course. Luke Gregerson. And Matt Adams always setting up. Dodgers hope that Mike will stay healthy, whether he's wearing 0 or nothing, however you want to call it. One away, 7th inning, 5-3 Giants. Giants came here 6 wins, 19 losses, and 1 tie. Dodgers started the night 13 wins, 6 losses, and 6 ties. Interesting, it's the Dodgers who have hit 40 home runs in spring. Giants have hit only 18. Sliced foul. He hit that thing inside out. So Duffy hanging tough. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Three games with the Angels just around the corner. 2 in Anaheim, and the last game on Saturday before Easter at Dodger Stadium. And Monday, opening day. 2-2. And a little pop fly. It will be the shortstop, Darwin Barney. So 2 down. And the big first baseman, Brandon Belt, coming up. Do you think about opening day? I mean, if you're a ball fan, you can't help it. How about this scenario? 55,000 people at Dodger Stadium. Clayton Kershaw on the mound. The Padres have loaded the bases. And the hitter is Matt Kemp. What do you think? Well, here's Belt, 0 for 3, struck out twice, grounded out. Very aggressive hitter. When he struck out in the 3rd inning, I think he got a bad call. He was upset about it. But boy, he attacked the ball next time up. The mound took some of the offense off the ball, and Rollins was able to throw him out. Remember, we told you last year, 5 home runs in his first 8 games. Then, of course, he had physical problems. Broke in 2011 in his first game at Dodger Stadium. He got a base hit off Clayton Kershaw in his debut. First home run against Chad Billingsley. And not this time, as Belt strikes out a 3rd time. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We're heading for the bottom of the 7th. Nice inning for Mike Adams. 5-3 San Francisco. By the way, friends, you know live Dodger baseball is back in 2015 with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected with live radio broadcasts. You'll get stats, breaking news, and a lot more. So download MLB.com at bat the #1 app for live baseball. Paid attendance tonight, 13,122, and having a dandy time. Meanwhile, Javier Lopez, the left-hander, will now pick up for the Giants. Heston turned in a great 6 innings, allowed 3 runs in the first inning, and then allowed 1 hit afterneath. Couple of changes for the Giants. Not only Javi Lopez, but also Adam Duvall, who was the pinch hitter, stays in and plays first base. For the Dodgers, trying to get something started, Chris Heisey, and he'll be followed by Alex Guerrero, and then Jock Peterson. So here's Chris Heisey having a very, very tough spring, hitting less than $1. That's tough. You go to a new club. You're a veteran. You've been around. He came up to Cincinnati in 2010, pretty much with Cincinnati all that time, and then comes over and can't buy a hit in spring training. Interesting, as a pinch hitter, he's been the toughest. Chris Heisey, a .587 pinch hit batting average. Little roller, wide to third. Nice pick there by Arias in the dirt. Nice pick by Duvall at the other end of the throw. So Heisey doesn't hang around, taps to third, and we have 1 away in the 7th inning. Alex Guerrero. Dodgers have a big, I don't mean problem, let's just say a big decision. Guerrero can play a lot of places. He's a very good hitter. AAA hit .329 this spring, hitting .364. But the big thing is he cannot be sent to the minor leagues without his permission, and he has said he will not go. It's in his contract. So the Dodgers either keep him or release him, and there's no way they're going to release him. The fellow in the battle amongst the infielders, Turner and Barney, Guerrero, Hernandez, Darwin Barney, he has an option. He could be sent out. Not that the Dodgers want to send him out, not that they will, but he's the one with the option. So fly ball to right field for Guerrero, and we have 2 quick outs in the 7th inning. Jock Peterson grounded out, fly to right. David Ardsma now gets up and begins to loosen up for the Dodgers. Dodgers started Greinke. Zach made 76 pitches. An error gave the Giants 2 unearned runs. Greinke had a good workout, struck out 3. And then it's been Paco Rodriguez, Yimi Garcia, Mike Adams, and it looks like David Ardsma on call. Ground ball to short. Adrianza makes the play. So a very nice inning for Javier Lopez, which is no surprise to anyone who has seen him pitch. He is something. Dodgers go quickly at the end of 7, 5-3 Giants. authority of the Los Angeles Dodgers, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Dodgers. Ardsma picking up on the mound for the Dodgers, and the Dodgers make several changes behind him. Carson has now taken over in left field. Heisey, who had been in left field, moves to center, and Ben Schleich is still out there in right. David Ardsma, who leads both leagues. In fact, it's going to be a while for somebody to top him. Henry Aaron, AAR, always led the league, but Ardsma, AARD, now is number one. A veteran who was in AAA last year, and the Dodgers want to give him a good long look this year. Ardsma with an ERA of 2.5. He's been in 7 games. He allowed 2 earned runs. Struck out 7, walked only 2. And he's facing Joaquin Arias, who lifts one into straightaway center. Heisey is now playing there. And just like that, one away. So one down. David Ardsma has certainly been around. First came into professional ball in 2003. Actually had a brief look by the Giants in 2004. Then he bounced around with the Cubs, the Red Sox, Seattle, Yankees. And here he is. Juan Perez playing center field now for the Giants, having his first at-bat. I remember that thrilling moment. Kansas City hit the ball on the ground to center field all the way to the wall. Juan Perez, Gregor Blanco seemed to take almost an eternity, but the Kansas City coach stopped the runner at third, and then the foul ball, and it was all over. And a lot of people wondered what would have happened if they had the runner go all the way. Would Blanco and Perez have been able to get him? We'll never know. So 2 down here in the 8th. Ardsma picks up a K. Mike Adams had 1. Andrew Susac, catching, has walked, scored a run, flied to right, and hit a home run in the 6th inning. Susac spelling Buster Posey. Andrew from Roseville, California. Made his debut last year against Colorado. Had a base hit in that game. Had his first major league home run against the Cubs in Chicago against Edwin Jackson. He's had as many as 12 home runs in the minor leagues. Andrew Susac, graduate of Jesuit High School in Sacramento, played at Oregon State. Susac, 6'1", 215 pounds. Drafted by the Giants back in 2011. And, of course, he figures to play whenever they rest Posey and have him play first base. 2-2. Got him. So Ardsma comes in, sets him down in order, strikes out 2. And we're heading for the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Giants still holding on to a come-from-behind 5-3 lead. Five-3 Giants, bottom of the 8th inning. A new pitcher for the Giants, George Contos. And a new face to look at, Matt Carson, is finishing up in left field for the Dodgers. George Nicholas Contos speaks Greek. Giants got him from the Yankees. Good 4-0 record, a fine ERA, 2.7. Although he started the year in AAA, he came up and pitched well. Here's Matt Carson from Temecula, and Matt takes a strike. He attended Yucaipa High School and Brigham Young University. Matt Carson, 33 years old, so no kid. He was born in Newport Beach. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-2. Last year, Carson appeared in 80-some-odd games with the Indians' AAA Columbus team. Foul tipped, and down he goes. So Contos picks up his strikeout. Outside of the first inning, when the Dodgers had a single, a double, and a 2-out single, they've had just 1 hit. That was the double by Scott Van Slyke. And Scotty then, for one reason only he would know, representing the tying run, he was at second base with his double and 1 out. Jimmy Rollins was at the plate, and Scotty tried to steal third base. They threw him out. Rollins flied to center, and that's that. And his double is the only hit the Dodgers have had since the first inning. And that's foul ball off to the right. 0-2 the count. Scotty, who was so valuable to the ball club last year and will continue to be valuable, whether he plays or comes off the bench. Still no balls and 2 strikes. One out, 8th inning, 5-3 San Francisco. Another foul ball. Giants scored 2 runs in the 2nd inning when Carl Crawford dropped a fly ball. They scored 2 more in the 4th and had the home run by Susac in the 6th. Kyle Farmer, rookie catcher, is on deck. Little ground ball to short. Adrianza will throw him out. So we have 2 down in the 8th inning. Kyle Farmer coming up. A.J. Ellis, while he was in there tonight, went 0 for 2, but was robbed of a hit on a leaping catch by Adrianza in the 5th inning. And then on the heels of the catch by Adrianza, that's when Scott Van Slyke doubled. Kyle Farmer in his 3rd year of pro ball at Ogden, Great Lakes, now here. Foul ball off first. Over there at the dugout, Duval making a nice catch, and that's the 3rd out. So at the end of 8, Giants 5, Dodgers 3. Ninth inning, Giants holding on to a 5-3 lead. Dodgers bring in their 6th pitcher, Chin-Hu Sao. So it's been Greinke, Rodriguez, Garcia, Adams, Aardsma, and now Sao. The home run by Garcia, the only other run allowed. Greinke was charged with 4, but 2 of the 4 came on the drop fly ball. Daniel Carbonell finishing up in left field for San Francisco will open up the 9th inning. So you have Sao and the rookie catcher Kyle Farmer. And here's Carbonell hitting in Blanco's spot. Blanco had a single and a triple, scored twice, knocked in 1, a typical Blanco night. Ball 1. Giants trying to win their 7th, their 6 and 19. Dodgers in danger of losing their 7th. They've won 13 and had 6 ties. Greinke, Rodriguez, Garcia, Adams, Aardsma, and Sal. And the bullpen has been very effective. 2-1. Dodgers scored 3 in the first and have been absolutely quiet ever since. Since the first inning, the Dodgers have had 1 hit. The double by Scott Van Slyke. Since the first inning, that's it. And there's ball 4 to Carbonell. So Adrianza will be coming up. That snaps a string because after Duvall had the base hit, the next 6 in a row retired by the Dodger pitching. So Sal gives up a walk. Greinke walked 2. Ere Adrianza playing shortstop. Brandon Crawford, of course, figures to hold that position. Adrianza, another Giant who made his debut against the Dodgers 2 years ago, and he had a double of Brandon Lee. He had a home run against the Yankees in New York. He hit the home run against Andy Pettit. That was like 8 days after he made his big debut. That has to be a big game for any kid, especially from Venezuela, to hit your first home run at Yankee Stadium. There goes the runner. Hit and run foul ball. Back of third, down the line. In pursuit and unable to make the play is Guerrero. Go back to first base goes Carbonell. One thing that Bruce Bochy has been doing tonight, he has put the hit and run play on at least 6 times. They've all been foul balls. One of the things that Bochy has done so well was manage his bullpen. Just seemed like he knew the exact man to bring in at the right time to get the right result. 0-2 to Adrianza. There goes the runner and a line drive hopper into right field. Carbonell on his way to third, easily beating the throw. So the Giants, who've been very quiet, now come right back. First and third, nobody out in the ninth. Adam Duvall out of Louisville, Kentucky will be coming up. Duvall singled in the 7th inning and then was forced by Justin Maxwell. Duvall played ball at Western Kentucky. He also played at the University of Louisville. High chopper to third, to second for 1. That's it. So they get the force play at second. Carbonell had to hold at third. So Justin Maxwell, the right fielder, will be coming up. Sal with runners at first and third, 1 out, 9th inning, 5-3 Giants. Maxwell is 6'5", 225. Check swing. 1 ball and no strikes. See now, with that rookie catcher Farmer behind the plate and Bochy playing a lot of hit and run. We'll see if he runs Duvall with Carbonell at third. 1 ball, no strikes. Ground ball into left field. Base hit. Scoring is Carbonell. Stopping at second is Duvall. And the Giants take a 6-3 lead as Maxwell singles into left field to drive in a run. So Sal gives up 2 hits and a walk for a run. 6-3 San Fran. And here's Matt Duffy again. Panic started the game at second base, flied to left and grounded into a double play. Matt came in as a hitter, lined out in the 5th inning to left field, popped up last time. So the Giants lead by 3, and we're in the 9th. Strike. Brandon Hicks is out on deck to hit in the number 3 hole. Chopper foul outside of third. For the Dodgers, when they come up in the bottom of the 9th inning, they'll have Justin Turner, Darwin Barney, and then Kike Hernandez. That's not exactly the names you would expect during the regular season. If this were a regular game, it would not be Turner, Barney, and Hernandez. It would be Puig, Gonzalez, and Kendrick. Big difference. Oh, 2 to Duff. Six runs, 9 hits for the Giants, 3 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. But for the Dodgers, they had 3 hits in the first inning and 3 runs. They've had 1 hit. That was the double by Van Slyke. 0-2. Slow breaking ball and fouled away. And a line drive, fair ball down the line into the corner. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Duffy is on his way to third, and the Giants have broken it wide open. They lead 8-3. Ocho. And for Sal, in any language, he's been pushed around. So Matt Duffy triples into the right field corner. Chasing it, Scott Van Slyke. And Brandon Hicks now checking in at the plate. So a big triple by Matt Duffy, chasing in a couple. It's a 3-run inning. And Brandon Hicks at the plate. Infield up. Brandon going after a high fastball. 0-1. Brandon's out of Texas, originally with Atlanta. Came to the Giants last year. Spent half the year AAA Fresno. Hicks 6'2", about 215, 29 years old. So the Giants have really opened it up. 8 runs, 10 hits. Dodgers 3 runs, 4 hits. Two and 2. One away. 3-2 the count. And good breaking ball to take care of him. So Hicks strikes out. Joaquin Arias will be coming up. He's finishing up for Casey McGee at third. Arias fly to center. Checking in. So Duffy got into the game. He's had 3 at-bats. Lined out, popped up, and then tripled. 8 runs, 10 hits for the Giants. 3 runs, only 4 hits for the Dodgers. Oh, and 2. So Sal being roughed up. The bullpen great tonight. Rodriguez, Garcia, Adams, and Ardsma. But now Sal, having a rough time, has given up 3. And another foul ball. Oh, 2. Sal not hard enough to get it by. Struck out Hicks. Arias just getting pieces of it going by. And a drive to center. Heisey is there. And that's that last out. Fly ball to center, but Matt Duffy had the big at-bat. Triples in a couple, and we're heading for the bottom of the 9th. 8-3, San Francisco. All Giants right now, 8-3 San Francisco. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Gene Machi, who certainly made his contributions with the Giants last year. ERA in the 2s, actually 2.5, and a rather remarkable record of 7-1. The Big Bear from El Tigre in Venezuela. At least 255 pounds, and he has done the job. Justin Turner 0 for 1, hitting in the number 2 slot. And that's ball one. Machi, who has a great splitter, that's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. His fastball is hittable, even though it gets up to 95. But the splitter really does a tremendous job. That's fouled away. 1-2 the count to Justin Turner, finishing up at first base. Well, Turner contending with that good fastball at 95 and the great splitter. From April through the 21st of June, Machi was almost unhittable. I mean, his earned run average from April to June 21st was 0.29 and no home runs allowed. 5 days later, Brandon Phillips hit a big home run against him, and that sent Machi somewhat into a tailspin. But Clary threw a rather disappointing October. Seemed to lose his feel for his off-speed pitches. Took him 12 years to get to the big leagues. Line drive sinking into left field. Base hit. So for the Dodgers, only their second hit since the first inning. Leadoff single by Turner, and that'll bring up Darwin Barney. Darwin Barney will wait. Turner comes out. Robbie Garvey will now run for Turner. That's a familiar name to have come into the game for the Dodgers. Robbie Garvey. So we'll see how Machi goes now out of a stretch. And there goes Garvey, and steals second with the Dodgers down by 5 in the 9th inning. Oh, and 1. By the way, down by 5. They will not call that a stolen base. It is defensive indifference. But for the Dodgers, they finally get him into second base. The last time they had somebody at second base, 5th inning, and that's when Scott Van Slyke had doubled and was thrown out trying to steal. One ball, 1 strike. You can imagine the thought for Machi. Every game in spring training, 12 years in the minors, 1 good year, a portion of 1 good year last year, knowing if he doesn't pitch well, if that forkball or splitter doesn't come back, he'd be back in the buses again. Tough time in his life, I'm sure. Ground ball slowly to short. Adrianza will make the play. Garvey takes third as Barney grounds out. 1 down in the 9th inning. 8-3 Giants. And Kike Hernandez coming up. Lorenzo Bundy talking to young Garvey. Kike fly to right field, 0 for 1. Batting in Kendrick's spot. Howie had hit back to the box and was hit by a pitch. So Kike Hernandez. Garvey down the line from third. 1 away. Ground ball to short. Run will score. Adrianza makes the play. So the Dodgers finally get a run after scoring 3 in the first inning. And with 2 down, Chris Heisey coming up. Big night for Chris Heston, who pitched for the Giants. Heston went 6 innings and gave up 3 runs in the first inning, and then did not allow another hit until the 1-out double by Van Slyke. So, regular season, Heston would get the win. Greinke would suffer the loss. 8-10-1 for the Giants. For the Dodgers, 4 runs on 5 hits. Greinke, and then a fine job from the bullpen. Rodriguez, Garcia, Adams, and Ardsma. Sal was on the rough side. And the Giant pen was great. Check swing. Heston, followed by Lopez, Cantos, and now Machi, who allows 1 run. One ball, 2 strikes. Got him. So Heisey strikes out. The Dodgers wind up with 1 run. And the Giants wind up with an 8-4 victory. So their record in the spring is 7-19 with a tie. The Dodgers are 13-7 and 6 ties. And that just about does it. It'll do it from Camelback Ranch. A reminder, join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. as the Dodgers travel to Tempe to take on the Angels. And coming up next is Access Sportsnet Dodgers. Good night, everybody.